These three Northampton Eleanor Cross artworks are all distinctive interpretations and show the wide range of ways that artists have responded to the same monument. Beginning by looking at the engraving by Harris & Co., I want to draw your attention to the scale of the work. The proportions seem to be slightly out when you compare the size of the cross with the size of the figures. The cross seems too large and the figures too small for the perspective that the artist adopts. Nevertheless, this is not to say that the artist is inferior to the more accurate depictions of the cross. If anything, it reveals that the artist's intentions were not for realism, but to depict the cross in such a way to show off its magnificence by enhancing its scale and size. This artistic editing and manipulation of the scene is a common device for many landscape artists who would have wanted their viewers to see things in a particular way. Next, we have George Samuel's ink and watercolour interpretation of the cross. This work shows the cross as a feature in a more pastoral countryside scene. Almost like a genre picture, the cross is pleasantly situated in a scene of everyday life. This is distinctly different from the engraving we just considered, showing that the artist had different intentions with their compositions. Here Samuel has shown the cross as an impressive structure, but it is part of a larger scene and story. Its inclusion doesn't take away from the other figures, animals, or carts in the scene. And lastly, we will turn our attention to an altogether different scene, a watercolour by Davidson. Here there is no inclusion of figures, rather the cross is surrounded by nature. Likewise, Davidson's artistic style is distinctive, being the most fluid and loosely handled of all our Eleanor Cross watercolours. This picture also stands out for its background, as the artist has included a vista beyond just a view of the cross. This creates a greater sense of perspective, with the Eleanor Cross situated on a slight hill. Nevertheless, from the Eleanor Cross you wouldn't really have this panoramic view of the Northamptonshire countryside falling away behind it. Davidson knew what he was doing here though. This is not the work of an amateur, but instead he is situating the cross in a beautiful landscape that complements the beautiful architecture of the cross, making for a picturesque and romanticised scene. In a similar way to the Harris & Co. engraving, Davidson is using artistic license to enhance the scene and the viewer's experience.